Welcome to Celebrating Act 2. Celebrating Act 2 is the user manual for the second half of your life.
Good to see you all again. And Art, good to see you. We're all hunkered down, aren't we? How about you?
Yeah, John, good to see you. As you can see, I've changed my location once again.
You're at the beach.
Yeah, and by the way, I want to give a shameless plug to the artist Bill Drysdale, who he does tons of this kind of waterfront and beach-like 50s, 60s kind of stuff. His name is Bill Drysdale, and you can see his work and even buy it if you want at iCanvas.com, which is, I guess, since he can't go to fairs anymore because there are more than 10 people there, he's very popular. So anyway, this is one in the background, and I'm going to start using them. I like them.
Yeah.
Unless he says, take it down, it's copyright, but I'll find out in about an hour.
Yeah. They're fun. They look like fun paintings, very nostalgic. And speaking of not being able to go to a fair, an art fair, street fair, you are hunkered down. I am a little less hunkered down, but still, we're all hunkered down. The whole society's hunkered down. What's going on with your family?
Well, so we have a lot of we're known for our humor. If you're not humorous, you're shunned. There must be about 13, 14 people who are no longer part of our family that we haven't seen since birth.
They can't take a joke, huh?
They need to be funny since birth. You don't have a sense of humor, we leave you there and on the second shelf. But one of our family members on the Rose side of the family, that would be my mother and her three sisters,
Sure.
Which generated my sister, myself, and tons of cousins, now have a texting thread, if that's what you call it, of about 20 people. And it gets hot from about mid to late afternoon up to some slumber time. And there's the typical stuff of the grandchildren doing a headstand to the biggest thing has been baking.
Baking.
And
Okay.
people showing us their special recipes from things they do with clams, which doesn't seem natural to me.
Maybe we don't want to know what they do with their clams.
No, to breads and breakfast, and they illustrate them, and some of them are learning, so they're overdoing things like GIFs, so little cartoon characters falling up and down laughing. And anyway, it's about 18 or 20 people, mostly blood relatives or somebody who married, and occasionally we have a maid member.
A maid member.
Yes.
What's a maid member?
They're not by blood. They're not by marriage, but they're funny enough and they're in the group enough that they are a made member of what I think they call the Rose Familia. The Rose Familia is the title of it.
Like the mafia. Made member like the mafia.
Right.
I get it. That's great.
So
like Tante Ethel.
Right.
You know?
So
yeah.
Anyway, I started finding them pretty annoying because every time it comes in, it goes bzz, 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 and I don't normally keep the phone near me, but when I do, it's just this god awful amalgam thing. So I'll shut it off and I'll turn it on about 20, 30 minutes later, and it'll show 32 texts stacked up.
Yeah.
You open up and they just explode all over the place. So I decided to participate the other night by saying, "Good night, John Boy."
Yeah.
And then posting a picture of the Waltons going through the nightly routine. And so I've gotten into it as well. But it's really a lot of fun because these are the same conversations that we have one-on-one or one-on-four when we have these large family get-togethers. Yeah. And so
the large family get-togethers is when you have at least 3 conversations going at the same time among members.
Correct.
Yeah, no less than 3.
But you can see them all. They're not just background noise anymore.
Right.
And for some people who use text, and I use text quite a bit, and it's like, oh, they're first learning how to do a text.
Yeah.
And so they're using all these bizarre things, and then they're learning how to hold their finger on a picture and go ha ha, or something like that. So anyway, it's that's a primary hunker down a
Well,
change
that's great.
that's happened, and
That's
it is fun. It is fun.
yeah, that's physical distancing without social distancing. That's
Correct.
great.
Oh, by the
That's
way,
great.
speaking of distancing, I think it's been about 3 weeks now, and I need to start doing some physical distancing from the refrigerator.
Yeah, yeah,
Because,
maybe 4 weeks.
right?
It's been a while. I really haven't kept count, but I know we passed the point, the magical 15-day point.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't know what I did with it. Here it
Yeah.
is. It's uh, President Trump's Corona guidelines. It was going to be every 15 days, right? Or
Right.
15 days, and we're going to be finished hunkering down. Now they're talking about another 15 days and maybe 30 days. Nobody really knows
You know
when that
what it reminds me
ends.
of, John, a little bit? Okay, think about it. I have a rolling 25-year plan. So I think that this, for the time being, unfortunately, is a rolling. I think it's going to keep us safe, and for some people, it is really tragically difficult. Inner city, not much money, so on and so forth. And while
Right.
we're not wealthy, we still have enough, and we
Yeah.
can do another one of my hunkered down treats is Instacart, and we'll talk about that in a moment. I think that's really a fabulous service.
Yeah.
But what are some things that just are absolutely weird for you that are different now that never existed before?
Well, they're not. There's really nothing that weird, except unless you go to the store. They have the senior hour now from 7 to 8. You can go to the grocery store
Uh,
if you want to get up that early. You know. Um, but other than that, we're really living a relatively normal life. We are not going to restaurants and movies is the biggest
uh,
the social thing. We live on a big, large property with my daughter and her family up the hill, so we see them. I don't see my other kids and my other family, obviously, because we're doing social distancing. We've canceled Easter dinner, and I imagine
hmm.
Passover dinner is going to be a
We're gonna
similar situation.
we're
You're going
gonna
to do
do
it
a Zoom.
virtually.
We're gonna do a Zoom.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
So that's what we're talking about. But other than that, the key is to stay healthy and to, if you do go out, wear a mask and stay 6 feet or more away, and just avoid people who are coughing. And hopefully, those people do feel ill and do feel sick will really isolate themselves until they're better. Last week, I woke up with the sniffles and I was sneezing like crazy. I had a chiropractor's appointment. I called them. I said, this is not. I'm sure this is not a even regular flu. It's just probably allergies to the springtime. But I want to give you the option if you don't want me to come in. You know. So they said, yeah, take a day off. We'll see you next week if you're feeling better.
Good.
So that's the intelligent approach to things. It doesn't mean I can't go to the chiropractor. It means I have to respect the fact that they want to stay healthy too,
Sure.
and I have to recognize that that's a gathering place for a lot of people, and could be a hot spot to spread
Germs on the
germ, any kind of germs,
right,
yeah, on the
sure,
equipment,
right.
or just as you're breathing heavily on the bike, or exercising. So that's probably the biggest thing for me. But I want to comment on the fact that I keep hearing and seeing stories of people doing really nice, generous things, and I guess maybe heroic might be the right word. People are rising to the occasion. As a country, we are starting to come together and do the right thing to protect each other as well as ourselves. Obviously, you and I are in a high risk age group, so it might be more about protecting ourselves
Right.
first than protecting other people. But even like talking to the chiropractor, I recognize that if I have anything, I don't want to spread it.
Sure.
So I think that's for me, things are looking up. They're looking up, not that we see an end in sight to this, but they're looking up because people are being responsible, at least the vast majority of people. And at least from everything we hear in the media, people are being responsible. But more importantly, I think we're having a national conversation about this, and I think that's really good. Politics never goes away, but there's been a little less politics in all the conversations recently,
Yeah,
and I
because
think that's
for
good.
me, because I've turned off the TV.
Oh, that's that's how you get rid of the
Right.
politics. Yeah, turn off the TV. Um, but look, they've passed this massive bill in the federal government. This 3 trillion. I mean, that's bigger than our 1 year's economy for
Right.
us. So we're going to look there. There are downsides to everything. There is no perfect solution. We're going to hit a point when this is over where we're going to have to pay for all of this. And it's kind of like after World War II, we hope. After World War II, we were in deeper debt than anybody had ever been, but we were still better than Europe, you know? So what do? We got to work, we paid off the debt in an unbelievable amount of time, and we had a boom. Like the post-war boom was like nothing before it, including after World War One. So there's that hope that we will be better, come together, and that when this ends, things will be really good, really good. They go right back to where they were. Even if they don't go back quite up to where they were, we'll still be great. We'll still be fine. So I think the national conversation is important. That's what we're doing now, and we have to discuss the downside of everything. The downside of maybe ending our sequesters in order to get the economy back. We have to discuss it all because there's no good answer. Ultimately, I don't think there's any good answers, and it's going to be making the best choice we can at the time with what we're given.
Okay. Well,
So with that, I guess maybe did I get the last word?
yeah, you did. Well, but I'm talking now, so why don't you say good night, Gracie?
Good night, Gracie. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and do us a favor, email us, give us your opinion about what's going on, and of course, go to celebratingact2.com, take a look at all our videos, and when you go to our YouTube channel, please subscribe.
Which is also celebrating Act Two. So youtube.com/celebrating
Celebrate.
Act Two. And then John. Oh, wait, before
What?
John, one more
Oh,
shameless plug for
what?
Bill Drysdale
Oh,
at iCanvas.com. And
you're good to him. I hope you get a commission.
I hope that he says hi and not die. But I just love his work. And okay, I'm gonna button up. And John, why don't you say for both of us goodbye?
That was very profound. That was very profound. Goodbye.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.